Rebu. It is so wonderful to have you here on this beautiful day where you can just feel life all around us, budding and blossoming in beautiful ways. So, welcome to Unity of Lawrence, to the light and love that we celebrate and hold dear. Let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us and listen to this prayer. On this day, we dedicate our hearts to peace on earth. We appreciate each individual's spiritual journey and abundant blessings bestowed upon us. In unity with all who seek to express freedom, joy, and transformation, we welcome our divine inheritance as creators. We come from love, as love, to be love. In harmony with this truth, we live to the best of our ability with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. And so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you in one-on-one. So if there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see a chaplain following today's service here at the front of the sanctuary. And today that's Karen Langsford. So thank you. Well, we not only like to start with prayer, but also song. So let us please join Holly in singing the healing song as we rise as we want to. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Let's go back to joy. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell of my body. God fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Life is every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. As if we could not allow Spirit to do what it does. That's the beautiful thing. Ready or not, there it is. So as we settle into our seats, let us affirm with me Unity's founding principles. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our vision statement, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And our mission statement, we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. So to help us along that way, please welcome our special music guest, Tim Behrens.
Windows are open, I take in the breeze. Another year's passing, and me, well, I'm thinking on roads that I hoped I could walk. The dreams that I'd outgrow are lessons I was taught. My friends are still near me, we've grown old in style. Counting our blessings and trading our smiles. The windows are open in springtime, I see another year to love it all and live like I'm free. The cold air's a stinging, it feels so alive. The birds are a singing, some song they take flight. Some friends close laughing, some torn worlds apart. The stories they wove me, this joy of my heart. And in bundled warm moments when everything's clear, the only thing that matters, this truth I'll hold dear. With the cold air a stinging, through my tears I see another year to love it all and live like I'm free. I could fly with my gratitude, goodbye with my love for you. I hope that I'll do this alright. With each passing day I will try. Some moments words fail me with nothing to say. Love can hurt so bad and darkness will sway. But still dance in circles, count trips round the sun, searching for answers while settling on one. And love is what matters and knowing's the prize. With each year we're back here with blessings realized. When the windows are open in springtime I see another year to love it all, live like I'm free. Another year to love it all, live like I'm free.
Love more, live free. What a beautiful message. Thank you, Tim. Well, we're in for a treat with our music and our speaker today. Holly Taylor is a multifaceted artist who shines the light of hope through her artistic and healing endeavors. In addition to her roles as music director here at Unity of Lawrence, she's a board-certified music therapist, a creative writer, and a contributing singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist for Folk in the Flow and Star Sister Revival. If you want to learn more, her website is hollytaylor432.com. We are so blessed to have Holly here with us. Please welcome her today as our guest speaker.
Morning. I'm wondering if this is on. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. All right, great. Okay, I hope everybody is enjoying this beautiful season of basketball. I mean, spring. Yep, congratulations, Jayhawks. But didn't that song just take you right into the center of spring? It was beautiful. Thank you, Tim. Well, today we want to start from a beginning. Some call it the beginning. But no matter how or where you place this explanation of creation, the Word seems to be to blame. So John 1:1 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." So the Word is our metaphor for an idea, a starting point for the origin of creation. And the Word, no doubt, was a seed, a sacred and intentional seed that perpetuated the cycle of life. And so today we're going to mirror the natural rhythms happening around us in our season as we take a look at the seeds that we are sowing in our own internal garden. And of course, seeds represent potential and new life and beginnings, and possibilities with sustenance and beauty and vitality, and furthering life on the planet. So consider that space is actually a seed of intention created at the cosmic level. Whether we want to look through the scientific lens or cultural records or both, we're talking about the birth of galaxies coming forth from what is called a seed sound. So the ancient yogic masters understood that sound to be the Om. And the Om is said to be the sound of a sacred spiritual symbol. You probably recognize it there on the slide. So I've learned that the spelling A-U-M is probably the most accurate way to refer to this original seed sound. I also learned that it's broken down into 4 parts. Each letter stands alone, and the 4th is the silence afterwards. And so it's a cycle, and we're going to practice breaking it down together, and then we'll do the complete sound together at the end. So I created a little clock cycle here for us. At 12 o'clock, we begin with the sound of ah. So ah is the wake-up sound, the wake-up call of unity, and the universal consciousness alive and well within us. Let's just go ah. And then we move over to 3 o'clock. Ooh, with our U. We're experiencing the maintaining and the holding strong of the energy of the universe. Here it's channeled through the subtleties of the mind with focus towards the third eye and in the head. And so here we experience illumination. So let's say, ooh. And at 6 o'clock, it's our dinner time, right? That vibration of M on the lips and in our bodies characterizes the transformative energies of the universe. It's the buzz. So here we're transforming thoughts and beliefs and expanding out to experience bliss of it all. So, And at 9 o'clock, we rest in the reverence of silence. It's the pure consciousness of self before we prepare again for that next breath for our 12 o'clock and enter into our cycle again. There we acknowledge and come forth back into that universal unity consciousness again. And as far as we know, that sound cycle just reverberates into the endless realms of space. So let's do an Om all together, and then we'll rest in that silence. Let's try it 3 times. So we'll take a breath in. sound of the Om cycle follows our 4 seasons. Seed planting in the spring, growth in the summer, transformational bliss in the fall, and silence and rest in the winter. It's a good reminder of these cycles that we go through. And the potential that starts with planting an intentional seed is beyond immense. It's no wonder that many of our cultural origin stories involve a garden. So here we are in a cosmic sound garden, and we are the star seeds, as they say, who've been given the keys to the kingdom, the potential and the access to plant seeds of our own creation. Now, being a musician, I think about Joni Mitchell's song, her chorus in Woodstock. Let's see.
We are stardust, we are golden, and we get to get ourselves back to the garden.
If you want to sing with me, you can.
We are stardust, we are golden, and we get to get ourselves back to the garden.
It's a really natural desire to return to the Garden State. And I don't mean New Jersey or Woodstock. But if we really feel into this melody, it has a really haunting sense of distance and separation from the garden. It seems to hint that we have to go somewhere or find something again. But I read in between those lines that if we're going back to the garden, then we've been there before. So surely we can figure out how to find it. There are many indigenous cultures whose origin stories did not include being sent away from the garden. They simply remained garden keepers and earth guardians who kept the knowledge of the trees safe. So what if we need to restore our vision to be able to find and reconnect to the garden? What if our thoughts of separation blinded us to the truth principle that we are all one? We are the Word, and we are the garden. There seems to be a natural longing within the soul for a simplicity and perfection of a Garden of Eden. And especially in darker days, we'd like to click our heels 3 times to find home. And it's no wonder we search. Somewhere between Mount Ararat and the Euphrates River, no doubt some beautiful scenery is beckoning in its natural state of ambiance. But not to worry, because all roads do lead to home. Being a little far removed from that part of the world, I've been content to think about the Garden of Eden as a figurative oasis. But then I learned that paradise is actually much closer to home than I would have ever imagined. Perhaps some of you have even found it, being in our own backyard. And what do you know? The Garden of Eden is actually in Lucas, Kansas. Kansas, the land of Oz, or Ozzy Oz, depending on who you ask. And even though I camped down the road from there one day, I haven't stepped foot into that garden. But really, after my web search, I kind of prefer my imagination's version of Eden more so. But we get to create our own garden, unique to ourselves. We all have our personal preferences of what the perfect garden would be like. And I think it's safe to say that despite any tornadic traumas, we do long for that sense of home. And the garden is our original metaphor for home. So just imagine the fullness of a garden that feels like home to you. You can imagine flowers blooming and fruits of the vine giving you vitality. Maybe you see a beautiful oasis. I think about all of the seeds and the nectar held within each individual fruit and flower. My son this week mentioned, how many seeds were in this one pepper. He was quite amazed by that. So our seed blessings transcend past the current moment, past our own garden. They travel in the realm of hummingbirds and bees and pollinators that keep our cycles going. So the garden is an expansive and quantum place, just like the cosmic Om. So we'll bring each of those aspects of the garden to an internal realm, into our inner workings. So imagine feeling the sustained energy of a garden home within your body, feeling the vitality. It's all there within you. And we do have preferences about our environment within and around us. I certainly prefer the environment of peace in my body rather than fear, for example. As we go through life, we're striving to return to the original states before weeds of doubt or fear or justified anger crept in. So you might have noticed that we are in the midst of a word garden today. It's kind of like an Easter egg hunt if you can find 7. We found all of our words on canvases up here. So I've found that surrounding myself with intentional words reminds me to experience those states. In its simple form, it could be like your positive notes to self. Because words can hold us. They can focus our attention in a certain way, shine light into a certain feeling. Words represent who we are. The words and phrases that we say most, those are our internal roommates, and they spread out into the world and into the collective around us. And just like the Om, they resonate in vibration inside and around us. So how do your words fill and shape the canvas of your life? Later on, we'll have a chance to create your own word garden, because words are a very personal experience. And again, this is an inside job, so no dirt is required. And that's the heart of the message today, is that we don't have to go anywhere to find the garden. It is within us. It's remained within us since that original seed state was conceived in the universal's mind's eye. So the place to look we often find is within. Just as the divine was the word, we are the garden, and we are the field. And I love that play on words because we know in our unity teachings, we're part of a quantum field of metaphysical space that is malleable and ever-changeable. So a good place to start is to acknowledge who we are. And we have to play from this state of understanding to use an I am statement. And perhaps those are the only truly fertile seeds, because our weeds of doubt wither away in their presence. The words are actually a whole belief system, an example of a state of presence that I call embodied vision. So these 2 words came into focus shortly after my white stone ceremony this past year. And so I'm reminded daily with this painting, embodied vision. So the state of embodied vision is where your imagination begins to play its intended role of creator. So as we take our intentional thought and bring it into fruition before the actual bloom happens. It's like Abraham Hicks says, planting a seed is getting out ahead of it. So we practice. We experience a state through our senses, we feel it through our bodies, we accept it in our minds, and we pull it through into reality with our powerful magnetic heart. Then we can weave it into our connection into the collective consciousness. The last step of envisioning is to imagine other people acknowledging this new desired state of being. This thought supports the teachings of Neville Goddard, a spiritual mystic from the early 1900s, who was able to interpret the Bible with a very powerful metaphysical understanding. He said, "The law operates by faith. If you believe, no effort is necessary to see the fulfillment of your every desire." So we want to practice seeing it, believing it, and giving ourselves permission to receive it through faith. And I have to include one of the most important references to the mightiest yet tiniest seeds in the Bible, the mustard seed. From Matthew 17:20 or Luke 17:6. And Oprah says it best. Listen to her words here.
You ever seen a mustard seed? Here, I have some here. I want to pull one out. Now, Jesus said if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move mountains and anything was possible. Now, I heard this as a kid and I really believed it. And so the question is, what do you believe? Do you believe that you are worthy of happiness? Do you believe that happiness, success, abundance, comfort, fulfillment, peace, joy, love is a part of your birthright? Is that what you believe? Or do you believe something else? Because you will manifest the life that you believe. You ever seen a mustard?
Yeah. So very powerful words. And to me, they have a very powerful vibration. I just wanted you to hear and experience that for yourself. So can you feel into these ancient belief systems? We are the creators, and so we can reinvent our own personal Garden of Eden. And I refer to it as a garden of intention, a metaphor for our eternal zone of presence, our abundance, our growth, our goodness. It's the space where the Spirit can freely give and receive. So before we go any further, let's acknowledge the inevitable, that without purposefully planting our intentions into an eternal perennial garden, we'll give a wink to Phil in his speech last week about the perennial way, gardens are subject to the weather, and they can be vulnerable in the face of potentially hostile environments like our doubting mind, or even worse, a collective unconscious realm of toxic opinions and the old belief systems. So let's get onto the field, and like an experienced gardener, we'll consider not only the horizontal playing field of our intentions, like our environment and our soil, down to the tip of our roots, but also we want to remember the vertical plane, our sunshine stream, as our guitarist friend Chris Hudson sings about, and our access to water resources, and then I'll set aside my natural preferences for the sake of this wordplay, but we're going to apply our own personal version of Miracle-Gro. That supercharged, superpowered, nutrient-dense fertilizer to find the taproot of our presence. So perhaps our grow formula includes our visual reminders, our truly supportive friends, and our meditation time spent within an embodied vision. How might your garden affect the grand garden of the collective consciousness? Our personal work always benefits everyone as we interface and grow together. So let's get our handouts out, and pencil or pen if you have one. Okay. So when we look at nature, there are often patterns of four. And so we want to infuse an intentional state of being into four different realms of our garden today. Just like the four directions, the four elements, and our four pillars of our mind, body, heart, and our collective, each state can support you in its own special way. And so we're going to start with our root level environment. So into our soil, it's our anchor point in our environment and our earth around us. We want to prepare our soil. It's going to represent that underground environment, and it's a nurturing space. So what word is an anchoring, nurturing word to you? You want to write it into your first line. Pick something that grounds you or soothes you, brings you comfort. Perhaps something like peace or rest, harmony or love. Listen to what your heart speaks to you, and you can write it down. Next, the sunlight represents our external environment, our connection to the sky, and our vast potential. So what is a word that makes you feel truly motivated? It brings your energy up, gives you life, it makes you think big, makes you smile. Joy, wonder, bliss. Listen for what word speaks to you. Next is our water. Water is the delivery system of our nutrients. Deep into our cells, water can wash us clean. It is also an intuitive healing agent. So what word would your water be? I remember Masaru Emoto's work on the impact of intentions on water. What state of being revives you or heals you, makes you feel fed and cared for? Perhaps it's nurture, or love, or compassion, peace, care. Fill in a water word. Then our fourth component is our Miracle-Gro, our superpowered, supercharged nutrients for abundance and efficiency. And our final element is fire. So here we're going to relate this element to our inner ability to transform, to recreate, and to overcome obstacles. So what word fits for you here? Maybe it's alchemy, or power, or abundance, or transformation comes to mind. So today you'll take these pages with you, and you can give as much thought as you need during the week to find the word state that best fits for you. I created a little mantra to honor the garden today. It's in the center of our page. And I'll speak it first so you can hear the rhythm, and then we can say it together. Perhaps one word or one specific line speaks to you the most. I am the fertile field of soil where seeds of truth reside, and light is amplified as it rains down from the sky. Here and now, within and around, miracles abide and abound. Let me say it one more time. I am the fertile soil where seeds of truth reside, and light is amplified as it rains down from the sky. Here and now, within and around, miracles abide and abound. If there was a specific word or phrase that spoke to you the most, why don't you underline or circle that for you to focus in on this week? Now, if we were to consistently abide in this atmosphere of our intentional environment, life would be like paradise. As human beings, each day we live, we experience and we create more preferences of the intentions that we've held along the way. And this is conscious and subconscious. So it's a good thing that we're creators. This last part of your page is for you to write down specific intentions or states of being, or I am statements for your specific journey. You might want to use one of your intentions from the White Stone Ceremony, if you participated in that, or a New Year's resolution. Whatever comes to mind here and now is perfect. Just make sure that word or statement brings you a good feeling state within. Make sure it's aligned with you right now. So in the beginning was the Word, which created reality in a 7-day cycle of creation. And so it's interesting to know that in sacred geometry, the seed of life becomes a flower of life in a 7-part cycle. And so we have 7 lines here, one for each day of this coming week. Each day you can focus on one word seed. Be with it, embody it, envision it, and see others being positively impacted by it as well. You can choose some of these words now, or you can wait and see what each day calls for and find a word that day. But on the 7th day, rest was declared in the cycle, so I went ahead and listed it there for you. But you can personalize that concept however it fits to you, because the concept of rest is a lot of times overlooked in our culture. And so I think it's a good reminder to be with that in our cycles of life. So I invite you to keep that paper handy with you this week and choose a word a day, and you can get ceremonial about it too. Many of our ancient cultures believe that when we enter into a ceremony, that's where the real work happens. It's within our intentional breathing that we shift out of our fight, flight, and freeze frenzy and enter into our power source. We connect our roots into the central channel. We find our alignment with our 4 pillars, our mind, body, heart, and our connection to all. And that is the work of cultivating our own unique garden of life within. And how absolutely beautiful each of our gardens of life are. We all play an equal part in the collective garden. So let's tend these gardens in the ways of the masters. Jesus took time to retreat and prayed in the garden, and those words were indeed embodied words of truth. Because remember, we are the words and the seeds that we plant. It's like the shaman who came down from the mountainside and was asked what he was doing. He replied that he was praying rain, and he did not misspeak. He was not praying for rain, he was praying as rain. The storm came just after his return. And so the practice of the rain dance, or ceremonies of those cultures, have within them the seeds of all possibility. We are able to have an impact on the collective and through our knowledge of being one with all. And this system of our understanding is our masterful birthright. Dr. Sue Morter says that sustainable success is the embodiment of our essential self that has landed on earth and rises as fulfillment. So to sustain the success of our planted intention, as the seasons change, we must internalize our sacred powers. Going back over to Mark 11:24, we must embody our desires. And that means to believe what we already have, what we've asked for. We hold steady there in that state of mind, body, heart, and connection. And we remember that Jesus often prayed in secret as well. So our intentions are the most potent when there is only direct action being taken. When we discuss our intentions with others, well-meaning or not, we introduce more potential for weathering to our seeds. So I invite you to hold your intentions as a secret, sacred garden until they're well rooted. It truly is just for you, and then the collective will benefit most when your garden is thriving. So I want to wrap up with a powerful statement from a modern master teacher named Baba Ram Dass. And he stated, God, or the divine, is within all of us, and we each have a purpose to discover. Every adversity, every difficult situation or heartbreak has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. So in response to that, I say the mantra, everything is always working out for me. I'm sure some of you do as well. And even if you don't believe it 100%, you can start to plant the seed of those words in that belief system in your body and mind and environment. Bruce Lipton, a specialist of epigenetics, he talks about planting seeds by talking to ourselves in this way. And he says it's because it isn't the conscious part of us that we need to worry about. It's the subconscious thoughts and belief systems that we're here to reprogram. And with repetition, it can take root more easily at the subconscious level of our being. And so that's why we practice our repetition. And as we grow, we believe and we learn. So God is within all of us, and we each have a purpose to discover. Every adversity, every difficult situation or heartbreak has within it seeds of equal or greater benefit for us. And that's the contrast that Abraham Hicks speaks of. Anytime we're experiencing something difficult or unwanted in our life, it increases our focus to what it is that we prefer, and that seed of potential is born within us. In our discomfort, we cry out for relief, even at the subconscious level. So we plant those intentional seeds each day this week as you're able. And with our intentions, we can begin to prime our experiences and reset the environment around us. What things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you shall receive them, and you shall have them. And those are definitely words to celebrate and to consider as a specific, time-ordered instruction. As we live, we find out our desires and preferences, and we are continually refining them. And perhaps it's something major that we're desperate to change, or it's just a simple preference. It's the same methodology, no matter what we experience, what we desire. Below it is our knowing of what we want within. And that's why we have to relearn and quiet to listen to our bodies. The knot in your throat knows what's up. And those excited butterflies in your stomach, they're onto something. So just like our universe, we're in a state of conscious and constant expansion. We are seekers of the garden, and we keep generating more joy, more love, more peace, more understanding. You can fill in your own desired fruits and flowers for your personal garden and our collective garden of life. I think there's still a record store here in town called the Love Garden, but wouldn't that be a nice place to live? And remember, we said that belief comes before the receiving. That's the faith, and that is a discipline of mind for our practice. One of our own masters of words, Lana Haas, made a really beautiful statement recently that acknowledges the state of what we're practicing. She said, "We must become the masters of our own energy and distinguish between what is our true nature and our true self versus what is actually coming from a false matrix or false beliefs, distortions, trauma, and energies that don't belong to us. Only then, when we go within, meet ourselves, and merge with our soul, become fully embodied with our God source, then we will be able to connect with others in a loving, compassionate, and authentic way." And so now we're going to take some time to go into our own secret garden, our love garden, and our place of our holy intentions. I'm going to invite Tim up. He's going to play a song for us to enter into our meditation. And right after this song, we're going to go straight into our meditative time and take care of our seeds.
It's quiet here in the morning. Lose myself in the dawn. Well, it's lovely here, spirit soaring. Could slip away. Would the world know I'm gone in the daybreak? I pray, lift my hopes, starts right here. Every morning I could lose myself, or I could rise. Well, it's lovely here with no warning. Could slip away. I could just close my eyes and the day break. I pray, lift my hopes, and light my way in the still glow. I lay swimming in the feeling I might stray from an answer away to another life. I'm on a stage where I'm an actor, stumbling on my lines. In the daybreak, I am fine. So footsteps cold doorway, I travel the floor to the curtain, I gaze down the street. The day-breaking shadows like prisoners of war, and a night that's waiting me. In the daybreak, I pray, lift my hopes, light my way.
Let's quiet our bodies. Allow your minds to rest as we enter into the arena of our soul. Here we are, the I am. We hummed the Om, the frequency of coherence. We sang about ourselves being present, eagerly listening. We are the vibration and the tone. Each cell aligns to our vibrant vision of its original state. Our soul sings a song which resonates and excites each layer imaginable of our being. Our garden resonates through the etheric field, through your biofield, through your electrical field, through the emotional body, through your personality, through your physical body, through the organs and bones and bloods and cells, through the DNA, which everything exists in harmony and coherence. Beyond our home, through the universe and beyond, back into the spark of creation, our ripple goes on and on. Let's take a deep breath in a state of exploration. Let's feel some curiosity and envision one of your chosen words from today. See it written in your mind. Feel it bringing the sensations over your body. Let your mouth smile. Let your body gently sway like a flower in the wind if you feel the movement. Allow the word or intention to grow from below your feet, up through your legs, and on up into your body, and hold it steady in the heart center. Feel the warmth of sunlight expanding the seed within your heart. And feel the roots at your feet being strengthened with every breath. If you find colors around you, see them strengthening and washing over you, like the renewing waters of life. Above your head, around your halo area, you feel the firelight of transformational spirit coming down from above your head and energizing and supercharging your seed into full bloom. Take in that fragrance that will last through the winter, and we'll hold gratitude to the moments that inspire these new seeds to take root and to grow into the abundance of the gifts that the garden brings to us all. So here we bask in this appreciation. And we go even deeper with our breath into our soul's connection to all there is. And we will enter into our silence and our rest. I am. Many ancient poems began with those words. The song of Amergin, the ancient bard, said, I am ocean wave. I am wind on sea. I am shining tear of the sun. I am a hawk on a cliff. I am a hill of poetry. I am a word of skill. We reside in everything that there is, and we are our words. Let's take a deep breath of release as we envision and embody that thriving sacred word garden. And as you're ready, we're going to start to move our fingers, roll your ankles, your wrists, your neck, circle your shoulders. Take another deep breath, and we're going to enjoy one more song from Tim. Thank you.
Like a quiet morning sunrise, warmth that paints the day. Like the road that winds to mountain tops, the signs along the way. Like a gentle touch, a soft embrace, a whisper in your ear. Like the times you felt so lost, alone, and something held you near. Like the tapping of the rain on your windows in the spring. Love is all around you in the silence. You can sing life's circles around you in love. Like standing in a waterfall, blossom in the breeze. Stir souls that come together like the branching of a tree. The wind can wait so patiently, hold winter cold at bay. Green truth with light and sunsets, living day by day. Like the pieces of a puzzle that hint at other lives. And the fears just fade away, nothing's left to hide. Life circles around you in love, in love. Thank you.
Well, that was powerful. I could see a whole day workshop with the two of you to create and would love that because I ran out of space on my little note paper. And it's funny, life does circle around us with love. I grew up near Lucas, Kansas in the Smoky Hills, and so I've been there, terrified. S.P. Dinsmore was a funky, funky fella. But in Noto, the arts district of North Topeka, there's a building that was going to be demolished, and instead they brought in an artist. They were inspired by Dinsmore. And so all around the building is surrounded with mosaic, broken glass, beautiful shells, some funky designs. But from demolition, there is beauty. And each of us are a beautiful part of the mosaic of love. So thank you for inspiring that connection for me. I know it's not just about me, it's about the ushers coming forward, so let's get to that. But powerful, powerful words. So as our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community, this beautiful mosaic, and hold in our hands love in our hearts as we affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And as the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing, Move in the Direction of Your Dreams. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. Even when there is no hope, or so it seems. Move in the direction of your dream. You must move in the direction of your dream and act as if they've already come true. Even when there is no hope, or so it seems. Move in the direction of your dreams. And so as our ushers come forward, here's our prayer of thanks as we listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again. And so it is. Amen. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us and joining our mosaic. If you would like more information about the Unity Movement and Unity of Lawrence, please pick up a welcome packet that's in the lobby. The Lunch Bunch is meeting at Who Hot today at 2525 Iowa Street. All are welcome. Our weekly meditation group meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 here in the sanctuary. All are welcome. And calling all gardeners, it's not too late. Because of the cold, we have moved the cleanup for the gardening of our outdoors to next Saturday. And we are meeting on Saturdays in April from 9 to noon to work on the gardens. So bring your water, gloves, hats, chairs, gardening tools, as we all help to awaken our Unity of Lawrence Garden. We'll be joined on April 23rd by KU students participating in the KU Big Event. They'll help us spread mulch and continue the work on the gardens. So our seeds and planting are growing, especially on that Earth Day, Saturday. Let's all help in coming Saturday, 9 to noon, to help our yard look great. Please join us next Sunday, Easter Sunday, with Kelly Hunt, bringing us special music and the message, Shine the Light. Perfect, we've planted seeds, it's time for sunshine. And I don't know, I think we do have someone we're singing in, so let's sing them in with You Are Walking in the Light. You are walking in the light, in the light, and the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 as the light of God. You are walking as the light, as the light, as the light. You are walking as the light of God.
Good morning. We're going to try something different today. Izzy's going to talk to me. Good morning, Izzy. So we talked today about all the signs of spring and new life. Can you remember some of the symbols that you drew on your picture today? What did you draw?
Flower?
You drew a flower. What else did you draw? Easter? And why did you draw that? What happens in the spring? Do you know what happens in the spring?
Bunny.
Bunnies. And they represent new life, right? And so we had this affirmation. So we talked about all the different signs of new life. So we talked about springtime and bunnies and chicks and trees and grass and flowers. And we looked for all those words in a special word hunt. And so we were looking for all those pictures and why they symbolize spring and Easter, because our affirmation was, you want to say it after me? God
God
gives
give
me
me
new
new
life.
life.
Yeah.
So, congregation, let's rub our hands together and send beautiful light to this bunny, saying together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. And now let's join together in singing our peace song. Oh, they get to bless us back. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that bunny blessing, now we'll sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God Let us say the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God washes over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week.